There's a Classic Plus survey. I don't know who is making this, but the website is literally called wowclassic.plus, and we have like a /survey for that survey. I just think it would be interesting. And it's nice we have like an elite Xelreth. I need to make this for the stream or something. That looks nice. But yeah, which faction do you usually play? I do usually play Horde, but if there is another Classic server, I will go Alliance. Because every time I go Horde, I always get stumped by the Alliance in a Classic server because everybody wants to play Alliance. There is more Alliance in a Classic server than there is Horde, and it's very problematic, especially in a PvP world. So I would go Alliance, but I am a Horde player. Which race would you consider your main? Feel free to pick multiple. I don't even know what my main would be, to be honest, but I really love Night Elves. So I would probably go Night Elf or like Dwarf. These are like my two races. And if I'm playing Horde, I would probably go about Undead or Trolls. That's the one I like. Tauren if I'm forced to play like Druid. What class do you consider your main? My main is definitely in Classic would be a Priest. That is like 1000% my main. I am a Druid healer in the retail version, but I would not Druid heal in Classic. If it's not a Priest, I would probably go like Paladin Holy. I think that looks really fun. But I'm willing to try something else like Shaman. But would that be my main? No. So my main would be like Priest or Paladin because I'm a healer. How old are you? I am 29 years old. How often do you play WoW each week? It depends. When I'm super addicted, I can play fucking 12 hours a day. When you get to the raid log, it's like once a week. Maybe twice. So every day if I can, more than 20 plus hour. Oh, that's the entire week. Okay, like per day. I play a lot of WoW, 40 plus. I would probably go for like 20 hours. I think that sounds about right. Probably a bit more, 40. I'm gonna go with 20, you know? I'm hardcore at the start, but I get really casual really fast because I don't play like multiple characters. What is your experience with the various iterations of Classic, Vanilla, World of Warcraft? Check. All that applies. I never played this. I did play private servers. Season of Mastery, never played it. Classic Anniversary, well, we do play it with TBC. Only expansion beyond Vanilla. I've never played Vanilla. It's not exactly true. 2000 Classic Relaunch, we did not play this. Season of Discovery, yes, we did, and that sounds like it. Okay, and we played Retail, but I guess they just want to know about the Classic. What role do you usually play? Healer. What region do you play from? NA. Which of the following label describes you? Choose as many as you feel accurate. Okay. I am a casual raider, a completionist. Not really in a Classic setting, to be honest. I am in Retail, though. Auction House Gamer, hell the fuck no. Transmog Gamer. I mean, I am a Transmog Hunter, kind of, if it was a Retail setting. Like, again, I'm not going to go for a Transmog in Classic where you cannot Transmog your gear. But I'm gonna click on it, because if they do include Transmog in Classic, I think people would be mad, but I think it would be nice. I don't know how they could implement that, because some items are so rare that it would be unfortunate that some high-geared player are needing on it, preventing the new players from dropping these items just to get the Transmog. I don't know if that would be a good idea for Classic. Unless if the item drop in your raid, you get the appearance. Maybe that would be fair. I'm not really a PvP player, but in Classic, I do like a little bit of PvP. How likely are you to play Classic Plus? I can't wait to log in. To be honest, if Classic Plus is everything I want it to be, I cannot wait to play it. If Classic Plus is just another Classic Anniversary, I don't know if I will play it. I don't know if I just want another identical World of Warcraft that we played multiple times already. Would you play a box? Would you pay a box fee for Classic Plus? If not, how much? To be honest, fuck. I know they're gonna sell this. If that's a standalone game with updates every month and things like that, they're going to sell it. I think it's going to be 60 USD. Might as well just tell them I'm willing to pay it, to be honest. Because I think it's going to happen whether I like it or not. But in theory, depends on what it's shown promised. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go with that. I think that is the most fair. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you feel about Classic Plus if they change how the game looked via, okay? Unreal Engine. Sure, I mean, I would like a better WoW, but do not make it realistic. Keep the arts. But I think my GPU is crying. I think they should just go like the retail version, right? Like just go like how retail looks. And I don't think retail is Unreal Engine. It's like, I'm gonna go with like 7. Because I would like the graphic to be improved. Modern WoW, yeah, 9. Modern WoW character animation, again, they are pretty good. Like Modern WoW looks really good. Again, yeah, WoW spell and effect. Modern WoW UI, player and target frame, action bar. I think that would be huge too. Like the ability that you have in retail to move your bars and to move your UI is pretty insane. And I would like it to be imported here. Maybe just for the old school to be able to revert to the old, like keep both at the same time if it's not too problematic. But for me, retail would be perfectly fine with me. How would you like Blizzard to handle the server rollout? Oh, that's when the server goes back when there's a bug or something, I think. Many servers at launch, some PvP, some PvE. Oh, I know what they mean. Okay. You know what? I'm probably going to say something that a lot of people are not going to agree. One server. Because we only have one server, some people are only going to want to do PvE. So you need a war mode on. The war mode on, I think the way they should do it is you can only enable it or disable it like once every day. So if you want to do PvP, you basically need to always have it on. You cannot just, oh, I'm going to kill some noobs for an hour, disable it, go raiding, re-enable it, and kill some noobs again. No. If you want to have a PvP experience, you basically have to keep it at all time. He fucking read my mind. Only one mega server PvP that lets player opt in, opt out of PvP. Okay, no, save zone and town war mode. So, okay, yeah, the war mode is mentioned, but I think that is the way I would do it. One super mega server. One mega PvP server with faction balance enforced, and one mega PvE server with no faction balance enforcement. No, one mega server. One mega server. This way, it's almost impossible that the entire server becomes Alliance or Horde. There's going to be maybe not a perfect distribution from Horde and Alliance, but it's going to be something. And there's always the option of hopping out of PvP. And there needs to be benefit for enabling PvP, like 10% more experience when you quest. I don't really know what else they could do, to be honest, but just give some bonus. Because they cannot give like raid bonus, right? But yeah, at least XP, maybe more reputation, like more when you grind your reputations, daily quests, something like that. How would you feel if Classic Plus had an element of seasonal server resetting every couple of years? No. Don't reset the servers. But it depends on a lot of factors. Do not reset the actual characters. Resetting PvP? Maybe. PvP could be nice to reset, I think. It would be like every month, like every year or every 6 months, there's a reset and everybody starts doing PvP like absolute monsters again, sure. So when you see someone with rank 14, he grinded it for that time, and then he regained it the next time. He didn't just grind it once. I think that would be nice, but do not delete anything character related. The reason is, in Classic WoW, in any MMORPGs actually, the game is good because you know all the time you invest in your character is not wasted. You get items, you get transmog, you get mounts, and everything you get to keep it. And this is why Classic Anniversary servers, people are not farming their extra bis because they know what's coming. They know it's going to be TBC, it's going to be Wrath, and after Wrath, they're either going to delete the server or like transfer your character to retail, and you're basically going to lose everything you've done, right? It's not, it doesn't have the same feel. So no, do not reset everything. But PvP, I would agree. How would you feel about layers in Classic Plus? They need to do layers. Like we cannot have like 150 players in the same layer like that. That does not work. But because I want one mega server, no, we need layers. We need layers. Oh, section in-game system. Should the size of raids be reduced from 40? Ah, fuck. I hate 40 raids, to be honest. But I think they need to keep them 40. It is the MMO experience. Unless they want to make them harder. If they want to make the raids harder, I think they need to make it 20, to be honest. What do they say? Reduce required raid size to 20 and allow me to bring more than 20 if I want like Ensodi. To be honest, I think that's the best compromise. It's literally the best. Because there is a lot of bad players in WoW. especially in Classic. You guys have played this game. You know how retarded some people can be. Like, there's Timmy that stand and fire 24/7. He's always dead. Somehow he managed, even when he doesn't die, to do 30% of the worst DPS in your group. That guy's worse than a fucking healer, but he doesn't heal. I don't know. This guy's the worst, but you like it. He's your friend. He's fun in Discord. You like to play with him. So you just bring 30 people or 25 people instead of 20, and you clear the raid. That's easy. And once you have more gear, you can downgrade to 20, maybe even 15 if you feel like it. I just want to see the other options, but this one feels like the best for me. Reduce the required raid size, but implement flex rating so we can bring more players, and the challenge stays the same. No, you know what? I like it like Classic. 20, that's it. 20, you can bring more. Yeah, reduce raid size with no flexibility. I like this one. Should Dungeon Finder be implemented? No. I like the group finder that we have currently. But only to group you. If it's, yeah, that's exactly it. The group finder that we have right now is perfect. Should Summoning Stone outside of Dungeons and Raids be implemented? I do agree. If they want to make it more classic, you can make it so you need 3 people to click on the stone instead of 2. Should there be heroic dungeons? In my opinion, no, but it's a maybe. I don't think heroic should be a thing, but I would like to see challenge dungeons. The challenge dungeons will not be made to give you better gear. They might give you a reputation towards something, like if you clear the current, let's say there's one challenge dungeon per reset. So every week, BRD, let's say, gets enhanced, or a Dire Mole East, or right, like all the dungeons, Colomans, and then it gets really, really hard. And if you complete it, you receive a currency, and I don't know what you could do with that currency. I guess that would be up to World of Warcraft to decide, but it could be like gear for your alts, maybe XP boost for your alts or something like that, extra stash space. I don't really know what they could do. Like buy bigger bags. You can buy like 20 slot bags with them. They would eventually become obsolete, but I think that would be nice. You could even implement a competition, like a ladder, basically. So every time you complete the master dungeon, the challenge dungeon, you would see how long it took you, and you would see like your rank with all the other ones that completed that challenge dungeon. But no heroic dungeon. I think that is stupid. Should there be rated PvE in Classic Plus? Mythic Plus? No. Challenge dungeons at the most, no Mythic Plus. Mage Tower, Prestige level... Prestige level? Not sure how that would work. Okay, it sounds interesting though, like you can still grind some levels. It would give you some extra stuff. Level 60 rating leaderboard. Sure, rating leaderboard, I'm not against it. Level 60. Oh, okay, / rating leaderboard, etc. Okay, I would say yes, but no Mythic Plus. Mage Tower, sure, but it's not scaling with gear. So you can overgear the Mage Tower to make it easy. It might sound a little bit stupid, but I think that's the way to go for Classic. Should there be rated PvE in PvP in Classic Plus, rated Battleground, Arenas, Dueling, leaderboard, etc.? I might make a lot of people mad by saying that, but I'm gonna say no. I think WoW should be an MMORPG, an open world game. And if you implement a Mythic Plus, everybody is going to do dungeons, and they're gonna stop doing open world PvP. They're gonna stop doing open world activities. It's basically gonna turn into a retail again, because the best thing to do at the moment will be to be in an instance forever. Rated Battlegrounds? No, I don't want to. For me, the best experience about an MMO... Okay, I'm actually gonna pull out Paint for this. It's important. So this is the skill level of the players, right? And in retail, this is like 1%, okay? This is like the mythic raiders, right? The mythic raiders. Then you have like another 1% here. They're like the mythic raider, and they do like, we can call them like heroic plus. Like they do heroics, and they kill some boss of heroic. Maybe it's 2% or something like that. Maybe 3 or something. And then you have another, right? They do normal plus. And all of these categories don't play with each other because the content is too hard for the version before it. So you have a fragmented community. In my opinion, that's what happens. So when you have arenas, only the high-level arena player are going to play against the high-level arena player. Only the high-rated Battlegrounds player are going to play against the high-rated Battlegrounds player. Only the high Mythic Plus player are going to play with the high Mythic Plus player. But if you keep it as easy as it is right now, even the top DPS can do a Molten Core with the worst player in the world. Because the only thing they want is to clear Molten Core, and they both can do it together, which is why MMOs are so great, because you can play with everyone. So I think rated PvP is a huge mistake in terms of a Classic Plus experience. Dueling leaderboard? No, I don't want this. I don't know how they could. Maybe arena skirmishes. No rating, just queue, fight each other, maybe. But again, I think people are going to do that all day, and it's not going to improve the MMO feel of the game. Should AoE looting be implemented? Yes. I mean, what does that change? Is that really a mechanic that's game breaking? Like, oh, it doesn't feel like Classic anymore? I don't think so. I think AoE looting is great. I don't really care. If they do it or not, I don't really care. What features of World Buff would you like to see in Classic Plus? Check all that applies. World Buff don't belong in raids. I don't exactly agree with that. Chrono Boon, yes. Non-dispellable, yes. The griefing in PvP is not fun with this. Alternative source of World Buff. Purchasable, consumable like SOD. I don't know. I don't think so. Weaker World Buff. Yes, sure. I don't think I disagree with this. No, you know what? I'm going to say something else. Stronger World Buff. But you can only have one at a time. It will be hard to target them, because if it's just about standing in Stormwind, like you're just going to receive the buff whether you like it or not. But I think maybe one at a time would be nice. You can have a world buff, or I don't know, a limit. Like it gets overboard when you can bring like 16 world buff in a raid. The problem that I have with 16 world buff in a raid is that it becomes mandatory. You need to join the raid with world buffs or you get kicked. So you need to spend like 10 hours of your own time to do a thing that you don't like about the game, but you need to do it to be able to raid. So I think if we only had a 1 to 2 maximum world buff, but they would be maybe a little bit stronger, it would be better. No change to the Valina low. More varied world buff? Are you kidding me? Dude, there is enough? Are you crazy? Weaker world buff? You know what? I would go with weaker, because that is the closest thing is what I have. But they would still be mandatory, to be honest. People would still require them. World buff don't belong in a raid. No, I think world buff are fine, but you need to put a limit to it. Like 2 world buff. You can have a city world buff at the same time, and one that you go get somewhere else. Like, for example, the sunflower, or, you know, the world buff that you actually have to activate yourself. But you couldn't have the Dragon Slayer and Zolgarub at the same time, for example. How would you feel if Classic Plus trimmed the capabilities of add-ons and weak auras? Absolutely. Get them off. Get them off. But do bring some things in WoW, the modern WoW, that will make it feel better. Like, for example, you know, how you can move your bar around and whatnot. Because people are going to be mad if you can't do that. But weak auras could be nerfed. But I don't mind that much. You know what? No opinion. I'm not a big fan of add-ons in general anyway. I'm trying to make mine add-on less, let's say, but Questy is mandatory. Like, you cannot say no add-on because you need Questy. In my opinion, without Questy, it sucks. Even Rested XP, I'm not a very good leveler without it, so just let me keep my out-of-combat quality of life add-on. You know what? That's great. Like Questy and whatnot, that sounds like it. Should mount level requirement be lowered? That's a good question. Let people get their mount earlier? No. I think it's fine with Classic. It forces you to walk around the world, but it will be... No, it's lower levels. Like, you're going to be max level at some point. You'll be able to run with your mount. No. Hell no. I saw flying and I don't even... No. No. Flying is the death of a fair... I want to say fair, but kind of fair world PvP. Because if you have flying mounts, world PvP is dead, and if it's not dead, people are still gonna kill each other, but like, you're gonna be by yourself right here, like let's say you're 30% HP, and you're gonna have a freaking Giga Chad 60 just flying after you like a monster. There's nothing you can do about it. You cannot even go stealth before he sees you. No. This guy's gonna go like a rocket and is gonna one-shot you. It kind of happens already, but it's gonna be worse. Now you're gonna have some fucking no-lifers, PvP failures that they literally cannot win a single battleground, that are in level 20 zones flying around. No. That is a complete mistake. Should guild banks be implemented? Yes, I think that's a really good idea. Should Classic Plus have achievements? That's a hard one. I think I'm gonna go with no. I think what makes MMORPG so great is that you can decide what is your achievement in the game. Is your achievement to get all Bis Naxxramas? Is your achievement just to beat Molten Core? Just to reach level 60? To reach rank 14 PvP? We don't need achievements. We do not need them. Should a reputation be streamlined, made easier to level? Probably not. There's something that I hate about reputations though. Reputations are a chore, right? You do them because you need them. You don't do them because they're fun to level, at least in general. So what I would like to maybe see is either a way to level up faster with your next alt, or have a shared account reputation. So no matter what new alt I'm making, I will be exalted with Stormwind, which will make, when I will buy my mount at level 40, it will be cheaper, right? Because there's a reduction, right, for Exalted, I think. Like, you have one at River and one at Exalted, so like 20% reduction. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but I think it is the case. Things like this, it would be perfectly fine with me. How do you feel about adding Transmog to Classic Plus? I do think Transmog is good, but I said it earlier. What if in Molten Core, or like Naxxramas, let's put the latest raid, it drops a 1%, not even 1%, like 10% item. It's the Bis of a Paladin, a Red Paladin, for example, right? So you're gonna have the 3 Red Paladin in your group that are going to need on it. And then you're gonna have another Red Paladin that is going to need on it, or maybe even a Warrior, because he wants it as a Transmog. So we would have to solve that problem, where the gear needs to go to the people that needs it, and you can also have the Transmog if you're the other players in the raid, because it will create some really unfair situations. But I do not care about Transmog. I think they're perfectly fine. They might even make, you know, people want to do more Molten Core, more small raids with their friends, instead of being like, well, I'm full Bist, I'm not doing Molten Core anymore. No, you want the Transmog, you want to do more. I think that is a good motivator to do more raid and to play with more players. It's a really good thing. Should a separate collection inventory be implemented for toys and mount? Sure. Should Classic Plus allow GDKPs? I'm actually against GDKPs. I don't like GDKPs because I'm always poor. I'm never going to be part of them. And I hate when I'm trying to find a raid and everything that I see is GDKPs, and I know I'm poor, so I cannot take part in them, right? Like, they're not going to invite me because I'm either not rich enough or I don't have enough gear to carry the GDKP. I think not. I think GDKPs are not that great. Should the level cap ever be increased from level 60? Never. What is the point of a level, by the way? The point of leveling is learning your character, right? Once your character is learned, you're level 60 and then you do the end game content. The only reason to put in another level is because you're releasing a new expansion with new talents, with new mechanics, with new spells. So you do need to readapt to your class. But if that never happens, why would you add new levels? It's completely pointless. I don't like it. Maybe we could come back to the prestige level that they talked about, the prestige level. That could be some extra grinding. You kill some extra mobs in the outer world, you get some extra levels, and you can get some rewards like actual transmog, mounts. Should Classic Plus have new zones? Yes, please. If yes, where in Azeroth or beyond would be okay for you for these zones to be? I mean, anywhere, right? I see what they mean. Any planet, dimensions. Because I don't mind. Let's say if Classic Plus also has TBC. Of course, we need new zone, yeah. Like, what if in Classic Plus, TBC is a thing? Like, you can go in Outland, but you're still level 60. You're still your level 60 classic, but you can clear the new, let's say, adjusted TBC content. I think people would like that. It would be hard to do because you need to make sure that the TBC content does not completely override the classic content, but it would probably be nice. But yeah, we do need anywhere. I would not be mad if we have to like go through the portal into another dimension, into Outland, for example. Should new content be added for leveling quests, low-level zones, dungeons? Absolutely. I mean, why not? Should leveling be sped up? Yes, but maybe not at launch, I think. Start with a slow speed. But for example, what if you get a level 60? I mean, you can already have like your fiery weapons and whatnot, but maybe it could be faster. Maybe you could have a permanent buff. If you have a level 60 in your account, you have a permanent 10% buff to your speed level. You have another 60, another 10% until 50%. So then you basically have a permanent joyous journey in your account if you have 5 level 60. You still have to level up 5 level 60. It's freaking long. I think that would be a great way, and it would also like improve the experience of people that likes to play multiple class. And they could also speed it up a little bit. But I don't care that much because I'm a one-player indie. Maybe I'm gonna do like 2 characters. Should there be more class-specific quests? Yes. I mean, why not? Yes, but only to unlock ability spell like Warlock, Demon, or Priest racials. That's a great idea. We need this if there's a Classic Plus, so yes. But yes, in general, I mean, more quests is just great. Just make them relevant. Just not... don't try to add quests just to add quests. Make them fun and relevant. Should there be more epic quest line like Rokador, Scepter of the Shifting Sun, etc.? Like, yes, I mean, that's the fun quest. That's what I mean by relevant quests. You're doing something for something, it's fun. This is the best quest lines, by the way. They're fun to do. Which of the following best describes how you'd like to see changes in Classic Plus to old raids? I prefer old raids exactly how they were, easy. I do agree, but maybe to a certain extent. Tune them as needed for any change in player power, but keep the spirit of the original raid. I'm gonna click on this one, and I'm gonna explain to you guys why after that. Can they make them harder? Yes. But they need to make them easy enough so you can still play with your friends. Like, I don't want people to be left out of their raids because they're too bad at the game. Unless you're like an absolute, like, retard. But maybe even you should still be able to play with your friends. Again, with like the fact that it's meant to be done with 20 players, but you can still bring up to 40 to make them easier. That's a great way. So that could be like this one right here. And I do love what right here. That's what I wanted to come back to. Tune them as needed for any change in player power, but keep the spirit of the original raid. The way I see this, at least, it's probably not what they mean by saying that, but I'm going to explain you what I mean. Is because Classic Plus is going to be permanent, and they might add new raids. They're going to add new content. What if every single raid dropped the same level of gear? So if you do Molten Core or Naxxramas, you get the same level of gear, but the power is scaled, so both raids are equally as hard. Because there's always going to be a point to do Molten Core, unless, right? Like, there might be your best trinket for a Shaman in Molten Core, best trinket for a Warrior in Naxxramas. So there's always going to be a reason to go in every raid. Every BIS is going to be completely ended in any raids. So you have Naxxramas Plus, like this week. So you can do Naxxramas to get the best gear that you can have right now. Maybe. I think that could be a good idea. Should there be new raids? Yes. Yes. But only stuff that already exists in original Azeroth? No, I mean, that was great. They added the Scarlet Crusade raid in SOD. That raid was fun. I liked it. But I did like the old updated raids also, right? Like in SOD, the level 25 raid, Blackrock Depths. No, that was not it. Black Fathom Deep. That was great. That was fun. I had a really big fun with that. Gnome Regan was also not bad. Not my best. Sunken Temple was okay. Okay, so now the section 4 is the player. It is the last section for the survey. Should Classic Plus have new playable race? And if so, which of the following categories would be acceptable? Oh, I see. Do not bring furries into this. Like, I don't want the little foxy guys. No. I want like something that is in, like, maybe up to Northrend or something. Completely new race. Never been seen in Azeroth. No. No new race. Give the original 8. New playable race that already exists in Azeroth. Any race. No, I would go with this one. I think if a Classic Plus exists, you will need a Shaman in the Alliance, and you will need a Paladin in the Horde. If you really want to make it fair, it needs to work that way, in my opinion, and that new race could be the way to implement it, like Blood Elves and Draenei and whatnot. Should Classic Plus have new classes? I'm gonna say yes, but very far in the Classic Plus. Like, Classic Plus needs to be up for at least 2 to 3 years before they even think about it. But I think for me it's no. But after a couple of years, I think people will start to be open to a new class, in my opinion. That it could be nice. Maybe just add new spec like they did in SOD, like Healing Mage was not a new class, but a new way to play something. Tank Shaman, things like that could be another way of making things fresh. Should new race class combo be added? Oh, well, I just talked about that. Yes, that would be nice. The original combination. Oh, no. New race / class. Oh. Okay, maybe not any race, any class, but yes. That if it fits with the lore, yes. I would like to be an undead paladin. That would be so insane. I don't think they will ever do that, but it would be nice. Should the Horde have paladin and the Alliance have shaman? Yes, I just explained why. If it's up for so long, it needs to be there. It's going to be there permanently, and I want people to like only play Horde if they only want to play Horde, and if they want to play Paladins, play Paladin as Horde. They need that. Especially for, if they want to balance the community in terms of PvE, in terms of PvP, world PvP, just the time. If you go in Anniversary right now, there's a big tilt in the Alliance side because Horde is worst in PvE, I think. I don't exactly know. Maybe people just like Alliance more, or they like Paladin more. I don't exactly know. There's the Fear Ward in Classic that is better. But again, if they do that, I thought I closed it. We need to have Fear Ward on both Priests. We need to have Shaman in the Alliance, and we need to have Paladin in the Horde. Absolutely. So that will help the population equalize. Classes be reworked. New base abilities and spell. Class role combination. Yes. I mean, I would not go crazy, but yeah, I would go with this one. Just don't completely change the class, but you can make some new combination. I like them. In SOD, they cooked a little bit with that. That was fun. Some of them were a little bit too OP, but if they make them right, it could be fun. Of the following, what is the most important change needed to raid buffs in Classic Plus? You may want to pick multiple, but only pick your biggest concerns. Raid buff should cost less mana. Yes. It's stupid that it costs so much, by the way. Raid buff should no longer require reagents. I don't care, but they could have a quest, like an epic quest that you need to do, like kill a very hard mob by yourself, that would remove the need for reagent. It would be just an achievement. You need to achieve this to be able to not need reagent anymore. Raid buff should be single cast raid wide. Sure. I mean, I don't care. It's not a concern for me. Raid buff should be combined so multiple class can buff different things like in Wrath of the Lich King. No, I like that every class in Classic WoW can do their thing. You need a priest to have fortitude. You need like a shadow priest to heal the raid like periodically with their spells, and like you need a bunch of things, right? Or to have a debuff that updates the shadow damage, right? With shadow priest, the shadow damage does more damage. If you're a warlock, you actually benefit from that buff. So yeah, I think that is perfectly fine with Classic WoW. Leave it as it is in Vanilla. No, for me, I mean, it's still a concern for me, but it's useless that the raid buffs cost so much. It's just a frustration for me. I would say no opinion. Should talent specialization be reworked? Somewhat, but only with a light touch? I think yes. You know what? Yeah, because sometimes there's very few things you can do. I think with the talents in Classic WoW, maybe add some more specific talents at more like strategic places. So you can make like a half feral, half balanced druid, or things like that. You can make there's more ways to cook for a better build, or for something that's more tanky with less damage. More you have more mana but you heal way less. Things like that. Should new talent specialization be added for classes? Guardian, Druid, Tank, Shaman. Guardian, Druid, Tank, Shaman. I would say yes, but don't go too far. Like, don't go freaking healing Warlock or some bullshit, or Tank Warlock even. But I think Tank Warlock was too much in SOD. Tank Shaman was fun. Guardian Druid was totally fine. But limited to stuff that makes concrete sense, exactly. Should every specialization be competitive in both PvE and PvP? No. No, that's the point of Classic WoW. Certain things are meant for certain things. You need certain classes to do things. They are specific. They are good at what they're good at. Yeah. No, not every spec needs to be perfectly like raid PvP viable. Exactly. Because if every range is as good as every melee or every range even in PvP in PvE, Some of them are going to be too strong in PvP. And we've seen it in SOD. Some classes were so powerful in PvP, there was no way for you to kill them. You still remember the druid that would just spam Starfall and like Sunfire or something, that would just like spam their instant spell and they could literally kill anyone in like 2 shots because it was too powerful. And all of this because they had to be competitive in raid. Because if not, they would do bad damage. Because a warrior, when you don't stun him, he does a fuck ton of damage. But if you're a mage, you can just prevent him from doing all of that damage because you're just perma-stunning him, right? Should dual specialization be implemented? Yep, that goes without it. This is like the best thing ever. Should new profession be added? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they could do with that, but I mean, if they want to cook, sure, go for it. Should profession be updated to have more endgame relevance? No, don't change profession. Yes, make profession irrelevant. I mean, why not? For sure. I am not a robot, guys. I swear to God. Oh, wait, there's more? That was the intro, bro? What the f... Okay, maybe another day. That is crazy. That is crazy. Did we do like 1 per stream or something? That is crazy.